Hey guys, been a minute. Been out a little while. My back was all messed up. I had to get some adjustments done to get 3 bulging discs back in place. So we're back today, not on the Jeep. We are on something a little different. We are on a '05 Silverado. It's got a steering box issue, leaking really bad. So we're gonna get this thing up in the air. That way we get a little better peek at it, and then kind of show you guys how we get that changed out. I adjusted it. Got it. So like I said, it's leaking really bad. Let's take a peek up inside here. So that right there, that's your steering box. I mean, it's been leaking for a little while. So this has a new pitman arm on it, new idler arm, a lot of new parts on it. But when he went in for an alignment, they told him, "Hey man, that thing's really bad." Something else I want to mention is when he brought it to me the first time to look at, whoever did the alignment, questionable. The camber on the front tires was way off. I mean, it was. You have a square now. I adjusted a little bit for him, but I mean that tire was like that. I wonder if this side's. Yeah, they're more square than they were before, but it was bad. So we're trying to get this guy back up and running relatively quickly. Cut him a break a little bit, give him a little bit of a deal, trying to get it ready for him. So anyways, let's get this skid plate off. We're gonna get this pan off. We're gonna get this pan off. That way we can get inside there and get it all taken apart. So we got 5 15 mils holding the front one on, and then there should be 4 that hold the metal skid plate on. With all that out of the way, it's a little bit easier to see. It's a little bit easier to see what we're going for. Going for that box up there. So we gotta get that nut off, this nut off. We're gonna take the big nut on the pitman arm off. There's a steering shaft up there we gotta get off, and then there's just a few lines. And then take the main bolts out of the side of the frame. Those bolts are actually right here. So you got 3 of them. You got 1, 2, and then that one hiding back there. So let's get all that stripped apart. Got both those loose. Now we just need to separate them. Sorry for the noise in the background. Alright, so let's move you guys over here. See if you can see that a little bit. What you got?
Can you steer it with fuel pressure regulator?
Yeah. All right, so we got the puller on there. Run this up. Wow, right off like that. If you don't have a puller, you can beat on that. If you last resort, run your nut down till it's right there, or flip your castle nut over and then put it back on in reverse, and then you can hit right here on the end. You risk damaging the threads at that point, so just keep that in mind. So now we're on to our pitman arm. Same process. And we're gonna run to that. So we'll use that method. We'll turn this around. Like I said, just till it's flush with the top of the threads. And then we'll try to So, if your nut comes off, no damaged threads. All right. And like I said earlier, he just had these changed, so trying not to mess them up. All right, so off. Still nice and tight. All right, now we need to go after our let's see if we can get in there. You might be able to see that. So this nut right here, we got to get that loosened up. It's a little bit easier while it's on the truck versus trying to do it off. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen it up now. That's not a good sign. That was loose. Huh? Can't breathe?
Can't breathe when the mouth closed. Can't breathe when the mouth. Like breathe when thinking your mouth.
So that shaft I was talking about that has to come off is going to be this one right here. Should be just it's either 10 or 11, I can't remember. And then if you look up here on top, you got this line here that goes right there. That's a overflow back to the tank, low pressure side. And then I should be able to yank it off. get in there a little bit better. Really struggling on that one bolt. All right, rusty bolt out. Now, what do we want to do next? Let's get those power steering lines off. Let's see. How can I get you guys? Trying to get y'all in there so y'all can see what I'm doing. Does that work? Let's see if that works. All right. Oh, what name yourself? What's that? Get a catch pan underneath there, catch all that oil as it comes out. I'm gonna take the low pressure line back off the end here. So there's actually there's a spring clamp that holds a hose to the standpipe that comes out of the end. That standpipe you'll transfer over to the new power steering box. Try to get this at the same time. There it goes. Like I said, we're gonna let that drain for a little bit, and then it's getting new fluid anyways. So just while that's going, I'll go ahead and get them bolts that are on the frame, get those taken out. Like I said, it's just 1, 2, 3. There's one. There's 2. Number 3 gets a little more tricky because that inner fender liner's in the way. But just push some stuff up out the way. And you can leave those in the frame, you don't have to pull them out. Actually helps when you go back in with it. Let's see. That's off. Should be able. So now that we've got it all the way off, we just gotta, all right, pull it off the steering shaft, which it should just slide right off. All right. Huzzah! Do that without making a mess. And just like that, that's how you delete the steering box. So I've got cover up my gray hair. So now I've got the new box and the old box. So here it is. Like I said, it was leaking really bad right here. So there's a new one. Again, we're going to transfer this pipe right here over to the new one right here. That way we can hook that line back up and then reverse the process. Oh, we still have to take this off. So got my handy dandy puller, go right, my handy dandy puller, go right there. That way we can pop it off. So we took this off earlier, again, makes it easier. Take that off the side. Roll our puller back. This one comes from Snap-on, but there's other cheaper ones you can get at Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's. Do the same thing. Quick workup. Out of the way. So these they're keyed. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 keyways on this. Just try to go back in the same orientation you pulled it off. That's why I lay the boxes top to bottom with each other. Easier to remember. Grab. This line taken off. It's on there. There it is. Okay. Ta 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 ta. That out. Get it installed in our new spot. In our new box. New boxing.
I'm gonna pre-loosen up that other cap that way. It doesn't fight me when I put it back in. Warranty. Okay. That's it. Go ahead and stick it back in. So now I gotta get that shaft back on the front. And don't get too stressed if you can't get that shaft on the bottom. You can always get it from the top. It's no big deal.
You lying to YouTube over there?
Do what?
You lying to YouTube over there?
I'm lying to the YouTube. All right. Go ahead and crack these back up. We'll go back and torque that in a minute. Let's see.
Now we can figure out where this whole
Get that cap off. Like I said, that little cap that was on the new box. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Get the feed line for the power steering box installed. Right. Go ahead and get our pressure return line back on, which is that little rubber hose. There she is, back in place. So before I put this back on, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and put that back on. Ball this down. Reed, I need rags. You got any more? Huh? Got any rags? I'm gonna need that. Just whenever you get a second. Okay. So, got that on. Let's get this on. Turn back. Thanks, Boo Bear. Come on. That. Other nut. Do that one. All right. I don't know if I can see both of those or not, but just snug those up. All right, so these don't have to be Gorilla tight. They are a tapered shaft, so get them up nice and snug, and then make sure that your keyhole is lined up. All right, so that way you put your cotter pins back in, and I would usually replace these. But again, like I said, these are fairly new parts, so I'm not really too concerned with that. All right, back in business. So we're also going to change out this inner tie rod. So if you can see that. See it moving? It's not supposed to do that. So while we're in here, just go ahead and knock that out. He did bring me one, so. These are pretty easy. There's a jam nut right here. What I like to do is I like to take that jam nut, just break it loose, and then that way when you go to put it back together, it's relatively the same location as it was when you took it off. So just loose enough. It's gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. We got something for that. How to change the steering box kind of thing. Yeah, I'm making videos for you, Freddie. Big pliers. It'll be for a Patreon account when I make one. All right. Just like that. It's so wore out. I mean, you should not be able to spin it like this. It's just wore out. So. Some people say count the turns, whatever. That's why when I loosen up the jam nut, it just gives you a good location of where it's at. I mean, it's going for alignment anyways, so not too concerned. So, as you can see, get you guys in the spot. You got a good one. Doesn't really flex. Then you got this one, moves all around. It's not good. It'll cause all kinds of alignment issues. It'll make it wander all over the road. Alignment shop will never get the alignment right. So maintenance, guys, maintenance. All right, let's see where we're at. That'll work. Yeah, it's kind of strange because, like I said, his outer is nice and tight, and the other side nice and tight. It's just this one inner, no good. All right,
George.
Mr. George. I'm actually gonna put it in the rack part first.
You know, I like having a beer on a Sunday, especially when it's raining. But one thing I like more is a goddamn small block chibby.
Small block chibby.
Small block chibby. That's a goddamn small block chibby.
Same thing, there's probably a torque spec on this, but you make it nice and tight. It ain't gonna come off. All right, so that's on. Let's see if we can't go ahead and get that shaft on from down here. Oh. Oh yeah. Come on. See how close we are. A bit more. go ahead and get our bolt. Put that back in. Let's get our bolt and drop it on the floor. Cut it back this way. We can try to get that back on. Grab a ratchet. Back up in there. Give it a couple turns. Maybe we can do that. Let's see. Let's get it up here. All right. So all that is a pinch bolt. So make sure that on the shaft itself, I'll show you on the old one. So right there, where are you? This little groove, I don't know if you can see it or not. That little groove, that's where the bolt has to line up. If you look on the other side, there's not one there, so the chances of you getting it mixed up or backwards, there's zero, because if you do, then you won't get the bolt in. All right, so last thing we got to do down here is get that, I don't know if you can see it, get the nut. Get that nut tightened back up. You want to make sure that nut's tight because this is the only thing holding your steering to the truck. If it comes off and this pitman arm decides it wants to walk off, you better just hope and pray. She's on there. I need to get some fluid for power steering. That way you get the system burped. Usually what you want to do when it comes to burping this system is going to be, oops, sorry about the shaky video, is going to be when you have the truck off the ground, fill that tank back up, go ahead and turn that wheel back and forth a few times. Then start it up, full lock, all the way left, all the way right. Do that about 3 or 4 times. Then drive it. Before you drive it, go ahead and top the fluid off if you need to, because it's gonna suck it down pretty good. So let's get the skid plate, the front cover back on. Just a beauty cover, it's plastic. And then go back up top and then see how it goes. All right, so we've got our new power steering fluid from O'Reilly's. It's empty. So we're just gonna top this back off. And like I said, before you start it, it's always good to turn the wheel back and forth a few times to try and get any air pockets out of it. Start it up. So as you can tell, it sucked it down pretty quick. Back up. So we'll go ahead and let that sit there and run for a little bit. Make sure any air bubbles that may have gotten sucked down inside of the box itself are burped out of the system, because if not, it'll start whining like it did when it sucked all that fluid down. So we'll just let it run, like I said, for a few minutes, and then we'll come back, check the fluid level one more time, and should be good to go.